Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for the final week of March 2013. I want to thank you all for joining me. I know this review is once again a little bit on the late side. Had a really busy weekend, spent the weekend with my girlfriend. I had some relatives from Alabama come up and spend some time with us. This weekend was just a blast. I hope everybody had a great Easter weekend. I know I did. Just got through watching the Season 3 finale of The Walking Dead. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm not going to spoil what happened, because I know a couple people who haven't watched it yet. So, what I will say is the same thing my girlfriend said. Damn. Just damn. Ready for Season 4. It can't get here fast enough. Oh boy. But I'm not going to spoil anything, out of respect for some friends of mine who haven't watched it yet. So there you go. But by the time this video uploads, I'm sure they would have watched it by then. So, but still not going to spoil it out of respect for them. Okay. Got a shitload of books here to review. Sorry, I'm fresh out of bags and boards, so this is going to be a floppy edition review. Got some DC, got some Marvel, and Independent. And what better way to do it? We're going to start off with DC, go through Marvel, and end with Independent. We're going to start with DC. We're going to start with Aquaman number 18, The Return of the King. Gee, that sounds familiar. Return of the King. Where have I heard that before? I think my girlfriend would know. Something about a ring. Something about a ring to rule them all, or something like that. I don't know. Jeff Johns, Paul Pelletier. Probably butchered the artist's name. Once again, this right here is another good example of the fact that this is the only book that Jeff Johns writes that I actually care about. That I actually enjoy. The writing in here is fantastic. The art in here, really, really nice. It's not Ivan Reyes, but then again, Ivan Reyes can't do everything at DC, so we're getting Paul here. And I gotta say, the artwork in here is great. Loved every bit of it. Arthur finds out there's Atlantean weapons being sold out on the surface world. He's trying to stop it, of course. And he has retaken the throne. He is the king again. And you can tell, I mean, it's hard to miss. He doesn't like being there because he's not with Mera. And, of course, we pretty much know why Mera can't be there with him, but at the same time he's dealing with servants, or soldiers who serve him, who serve the throne, but there's a couple of voices speaking up saying that they don't like Arthur being on the throne. They believe Orm should still be the king, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. The stuff with Mera, I loved. I mean, thanks to this series, I am falling in love with Mera. She is just an awesome character. I love what she does in here. She goes to the police station for some shit that she did in a supermarket. And let me take you back and let me tell you exactly what she said. She goes to the police station and he's like, "You assaulted a grocery store manager, 2 policemen, and tore open a police vehicle." And she's like, the guy was a pig, he was a sexist bastard, stuff like that. And she's like, "I don't have time for this, I'm going to go feed my dog." But Mera is just awesome. I mean, DC's pumping out series for characters I don't care about, but why? I think we should have a Mera miniseries. A miniseries all about her and only about her. Oh man, I want to read one so bad. This is just great stuff. Arthur gets a consulting from the traitor, the man who started the Atlantean War with the surface world, Vulko. He says, yeah, I'll help you out because I still serve you. And Arthur says, do you think that makes up for all the people that got killed because of what you did? You know, and he said, if it means I still get to serve, he says something like, if it means I still get to serve you, I still get to help you, then I have no regrets. And you just want to go, you motherfucker. People died because of your dumbass. And the book ends on a really nice cliffhanger. I don't want to give any hints to it or anything. All I'm going to say is pick this book up and take a look at it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by how good this was. Really, really good stuff here. This was better than the last issue. I'm still loving Aquaman. Jeff Johns, I know I'm giving you shit, but this is probably the only series you write that I really still love and enjoy. Good stuff from Jeff Johns. The artwork's incredible. Love the character development for everybody in here. It's definitely worth your time and worth your money. Pick this up. Alright. We're getting to this a little fast. Time for the pick of the week already. The pick of the week. Remember, the book I enjoyed reading the most out of all the books I got this week. It goes to Batman the Dark Knight, number 18. I'm sure Mark from Fat Stack of Comics will appreciate that I'm giving this book the pick of the week. Hey Mark, hey Chloe, it's good to see you. Thanks again for the props on one of your last videos. Mark, keep rocking that beard. Chloe, keep looking as cute as you do. Greg Hurwitz, Ethan Van Sciver. Wow. This, to me, was just phenomenal stuff. The Birth of the Mad Hatter. I didn't quite know what to think about that title on the book. I didn't know what to think. I was like, Birth of the Mad Hatter, he's already been around and stuff. No. We get the conclusion of his origin in here, along with what's going on presently with the Mad Hatter. We get to learn why he is how he is. We get to learn why he's always so short. We learned why. And, Batman's going around trying to find him. And he actually does find him. He's... The interrogation scene with Tweedledum was very entertaining, very well done. Tweedledee actually, I don't know if it was Tweedledee or Tweedledum, but one of them, well here, I got the book, I can just look it up right here. Let's see. It doesn't say. It's Tweedledee. Yeah, gets him at a club, and Tweedledee actually comes off sounding very intelligent. He's like, Batman, whatever you can do to me, doesn't faze me, it doesn't intimidate me. It's like, I've had this done to me, I've had this done to me, I've had this done to me, I've had this done to me. A whole laundry list of bad shit that's happened to him. And he's like, what can you possibly do that could be worse than anything I just told you? He's like, you're going to give me the information or I'm going to break your jaw completely off. You know, and like with Batman, I guess Batman was a little desperate to get intimidation in there because you kind of think to yourself, yeah, stuff that Batman does might not be as gruesome as what Dee described in here. And the reason why I didn't say it is because I want you to pick it up and read it and look for yourself. But he finds one of the Mad Hatter's factories. It doesn't bode well for Batman. Hatter does the old hit and run. He hits Batman, then he runs. And then we get the conclusion of his origin, plus he finds Alice. He finds Alice. After all the years, he finds her. And when he does, oh my God. Ooh, Jervis. Not to put out a silly pun, but you are an asshat. Oh my God. Oh man, I can't give anything away. This far exceeded my expectations. I was expecting this to be good, and it ended up being awesome. The storytelling was great. The artwork was incredible. The action was good. And not to mention, there was a short but very nice scene between Bruce and Catwoman in here. Just great stuff. The writing was fantastic. Loved the psychology. Loved the character development for Mad Hatter. Damn. Just damn. Do yourselves a favor. If you're a Batman fan, and you've been iffy about this series, get this story involving the Mad Hatter. It's good stuff. Just wow. Just wow. Alright, next up, The Flash, number 18. Everyone's after Trickster, but why? Now, first thing I want to say is, I'm sure everybody who loves The Flash, I'm sure everybody read issue 17 with the dramatic first appearance in the New 52 universe of the Reverse Flash. I'm sure everybody caught that. Do we see him in here? But what we do get is a story involving two of the victims who were trapped with Iris West in the Speed Force. And it turns out now they've got powers. And they decide to be like a tag team or a dynamic duo, if you will, of superheroes. And believe it or not, they call themselves Speed Force. Oh, and another thing. We have a new creative team on here. Brian Buscelato and Marcio Takara. I probably butchered those names and I apologize. But we have a new creative team on here. Francis Manipold did do the cover, but that was pretty much it. Barry, now that he's in his relationship with Patty, now that he's open with her about him being the Flash, he seems to be more happy. He seems to be more dedicated to his work as a superhero. Because now that he's got somebody to come home to who knows about his double life, now he appears that he's not stressing so much. And he's now able to, keep his job at the bar and everything, where villains come in and stupidly admit crimes that they do and everything. Tricksters wanted for murder, but we all know that the Flash rogues have a strict no-killing code no killing code. They do crimes. They want power, but they don't kill. At least they did. That's what's pointed out to us in here, and Flash has to deal with not only catching Trickster, but dealing with Speed Force in here, and the chase ends on a bit of a comedic note, but Flash saves the day, and it's just really well done stuff in here. Once again, another Action Comics preview that I don't care about, but this particular book ends on a what the hell kind of moment. I'm not going to give anything away about the cliffhanger. It's just a bit of a kind of moment, Didn't know what to think about it. I'm just like, wait a minute, what the hell? And it's got me intrigued. I'm ready to keep reading this series. This was really good. Yeah, I'd say if you're still on board with this, stick with it. Still some good stuff. All right, next up, Red Lanterns, number 18. This is the series my girlfriend likes to read. Who is Atrocitus without rage? This is part 8 of the Wrath of the First Lantern series, and my student and one of my dearest friends, my brother from another mother, TheMtVernonKid, he did a Q&A session a day or so ago on his Real Talk channel. And I stated there, as I'm going to state here, for a story called, and he'll agree with me on this, Chris, I know you're going to agree with me because I know you did the last time I brought this up. And I want to know if you agree with this. For a story called Wrath of the First Lantern, I'm not seeing too much wrath out of him. All I'm seeing is mind fucking. Where's the wrath in that? Where is it? I don't see any wrath. I see mind fuck after mind fuck after mind fuck. And that's all I'm getting. The individual parts of the story, for the most part, are good, but if you could put them together so far overall as a whole story, this story sucks. There's no wrath, there's no big dramatic action going on between any of the Corps and the First Lantern. Nothing whatsoever. It's just, let's take your history and tweak it, and then put it back where it was, and then we'll make you feel emotionally and mentally crippled. That's pretty much all we've been getting. And in here, it's more of the same shit that he's been doing to Kyle, to John, to Guy, to Star Sapphires, to Larefleeze, to Saint Walker. It's the same exact stuff. The only difference is we're keeping up with Rancor, who's got his hands full with Bleeze on Earth. And it's like Atrocitus. What if the assault on his planet, what if that tragic moment that led to him becoming a Red Lantern, what if that didn't happen? What happens is, I'm going to go ahead and spoil the hell out of this book because I don't care. This book was good, but it's part of a story that really involves no wrath. It's like Atrocitus, he doesn't become a Red Lantern, he becomes a dictator. Kind of similar to another dictator in our history. You know what I'm saying? And he sees that in this alternate timeline, the person that ultimately takes him out is his own son. And his son's last words to him before he puts him down is, "I hate you." Boom. Wow. Good storytelling, good drama, but just no wrath. It's called Wrath of the First Lantern, DC. Where the fuck is the wrath? Maybe you're getting it from all the fanboys that you're constantly disappointing with all your decisions here as of late. I don't know, but this story better conclude in a badass fashion, especially with an $8 price tag. This book was good, for the most part, but where's the wrath? Where is it? Alright, we're moving on to Marvel. Going on to Age of Ultron, Book 3. Now, I know I'm probably reviewing these Age of Ultron books out of order. I did get a tie-in to Age of Ultron, but I'll get to that when I get to it, because I'm reviewing them in alphabetical order. Brian Michael Bendis and Brian Hitch continue the story here. Once again, Brian Hitch is still drawing everybody looking older than they should be. And the cover is not misleading. It's not. Sort of. You get, excuse me. That's better. I apologize for that. But in this story, we find out that you can trade. Here, you can trade beings for other beings. So Luke and She-Hulk decide to come up with a plan. Luke's going to go take She-Hulk to Ultron's hideout and trade her off for somebody else. And we also learned that there's other heroes dealing with this stuff in other cities. We got Red Hulk, Taskmaster, and Black Panther in Chicago, I believe. And it doesn't end well. And we still get some witty banter from Taskmaster, but it's more of the same stuff that's going on in New York. You know, shit's just falling apart, and Ultron's dominating everybody. You know, and it's just like, it's just planning and more planning and more planning. You know, Wolverine wants to help, but he's still not healed from his injuries during the fight and everything. Things don't go too well for the Red Hulk, but and it's progressing forward, and okay, Luke's about to carry out his plan. But now, spoiler alert, I'm about to show off the last page. If you haven't seen it yet, then turn away right now, okay? Or mute the video, or do whatever you want, or skip ahead to the next book, or whatever. But if you don't mind being spoiled, or if you know what I'm talking about, then stick with me here. And he goes up to where he thinks is Ultron to make his little deal to, infiltrate and whatever the plan was and everything. It's not Ultron. I don't know how well you can see that. It's Vision. What? 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 Moving on to Astonishing X-Men number 60. I already talked about this on my Tumblr page. The only thing I like about this book is the cover. Because I got lost in this story. This is part 2 of Extermination. I didn't read part 1. It ties into other X-Men series like Age of Apocalypse and Extreme X-Men. I don't get either one of those. I didn't read part 1. I don't read the other series. None of that stuff. Marjorie Liu still writes this. She's a good writer. But as I said on my Tumblr page, every once in a while when you're on a good series, every once in a while you're going to hit a bump in the road before you get back to goodness. And unfortunately, here's the bump. I easily got lost in the story. Do not know what's going on. Don't really care to either. I chose to start reading Age of Ultron over Extermination because what I got from this is basically Age of Apocalypse all over again. I've already read it. It's in the past, where it belongs, blah, blah, blah. The artwork in here is decent. It's nice, but I got lost in the story because I'm not following it. I'm going to stick with this series because once Extermination is over with, it's going to go back to its goodness. This was an average read at best for me because I'm not reading Extermination, and I never really once had a desire to because the other two series, Age of Apocalypse and Extreme X-Men, I don't care. So I'll be nice and say this was average, not bad, not good either, just average. Moving along, this is a book I almost forgot to buy because I forgot to put it on my pull list. But it's on my pull now. Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 1. Bendis. Wow. Where is this good storytelling from you coming from? I mean, what finally clicked up here to say, hey, get your pen, write this stuff on paper now, publish it? What clicked in here, man? Because this was good. And not to mention the incredible artwork by Steve McNiven. Ugh, nice. This was a great introduction to the team. We got Star-Lord. We got Gamora. God, Gamora. We got Drax. We got Iron Man. Everybody knows who he is. We got Groot. And, of course, we got Rocket Raccoon. Man, now you talk about a good introduction to a possibly great series. The art. I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna look at this artistic goodness while I talk about it. This was really, really well done. Star-Lord's dad comes up to him in a bar. He's saying, "Hey, don't go back to Earth. The Earth is off limits." And Star-Lord, Peter Quill, Star-Lord's basically going, "You dumbass. You're sitting here telling me don't go back to Earth. What you're basically doing is you're putting a bullseye on it. If you start telling everybody Earth's off limits, don't go to Earth, that's exactly what they're going to want to do." And you know what? He's right. And in the end, the team learns that Star-Lord's dad may have set them up. I know I'm spoiling the hell out of this book, but I enjoyed it so much I felt like I had to share it. And it's just, oh, Gamora. Chris, you said I would probably fall in love with this character. Damn, she's awesome. And I loved what Star-Lord's dad said about Gamora. He's like, that's Gamora, the most dangerous woman in the galaxy. He's like, you jealous? Yeah, I am. It's good stuff. Great writing, good dialogue. The characters are awesome. And not to mention, is it just me or all these variant covers? I want some of them. I got this one. I want that one. I want the Rocket Raccoon variant. I want the Humberto Ramos variant with the Days of Future Past wink and nod. The J. Scott Campbell cover looks really good. Let's see. I could care less about the Deadpool ones. The Scotty Young one, I'd love to get that one. And Terry and Rachel Dodson, that looks like a good one. The Marcos Martin one, I'm kind of iffy on that one. Ryan Stegman, Mark Morales, and Andrew Delgado, kind of iffy on that one too because it's Deadpool. But overall, this was a fantastic beginning to Guardians of the Galaxy. Great stuff. Good dialogue, good artwork, good everything. This was awesome. A definite must-have in your pull. Alright, moving along. Scarlet Spider, number 15. All the power, none of the responsibility. Chris Yost, you redeemed yourself. Issue 14 was a piece of crap, but in here, you've redeemed yourself. This was fantastic. Let me see, fam. Let me see. Who's the... I could not pronounce those artist names if my life depended on it. But in here, it's the conclusion of the story involving Kane being reborn as a monster and everything, going after the werewolves. It's pretty gruesome stuff. The stuff Kane does to the werewolves in here is pretty nasty. But in the end, Kane is restored. And he's like, now I know what I truly am. I am indeed a monster. I am indeed a monster. There's some more mystical mind fucking going on in here with Araceli or I can't pronounce her name either. I'm sorry. And the end of the book is kind of a kind of cliffhanger because we're getting more villains coming into the fray, going against Kane and everything. This book was alright for what it was. It was good. I enjoyed the reading. I enjoyed the dialogue. The action was good. Yost, I gotta say, you definitely did redeem yourself. I'm sticking with this. This is good. Really nothing else to say about it besides that. Alright, this is the tie-in to Age of Ultron that I got. Superior Spider-Man, number 6, AU. Alright, this answers the question. Which Spider-Man is it in the Age of Ultron? Is it Peter or is it Doc Ock? It's Doc Ock. So, for those of you who read the first 3 issues of Age of Ultron, I'm going to tell you right now, the Spider-Man in there, even though he quips like Peter, it's Ock. It's Superior Spider-Man. And it's proven in here. And this takes place before issue 3 of the regular series, Age of Ultron. In here, Christos Gage and Dexter Soy do this book. And man, is it good. It was good. I almost didn't get this, but my girlfriend's mom said it'd probably be worth your read. Probably be worth a read, and she knows I like Spider-Man, so I was like, what the hell? I'll give it a look. And this was good. And here we still get to see some of that Doc Ock arrogance. You know, even though now he's part of this. He's going around the ruins of New York, you know, being patrolled by all these Ultron robots and everything. He thinks to himself, my God, is this what the world would have been like? This is how I used to picture the world being subjugated by me? Wow. And now I'm on the other end of something like this for a change. And I don't like it. You know, it's like everybody's gone. Mary Jane's club is destroyed. He goes to what's left of Horizon Labs and goes past Max Modell's skeleton and gains access to Peter Parker's lab. Reconstructs spider bots. He actually tries to enslave the Ultron bots. Like I said, this is where we're getting more of that. We're getting reintroduced to that Doc Ock arrogance. Instead of fighting the problem, he's going to try and conquer it by himself. And like the arrogant fool, he realizes now that he's failed, he realizes now that he's going to have to be a team player. You know, it's his ego. I think his ego was hurt in this book, and now he realizes he's going to have to be a team player if they want to win the day. This was a great story. This was a great issue of Superior Spider-Man. It's not part of the regular Superior Spider-Man series. It's a nice tie-in to Age of Ultron. I actually enjoyed this more than I did Age of Ultron, which is saying something because I almost didn't get this. Nice stuff here. Good writing from Christos Gage. Good artwork from Dexter Soy. And I'm going to go ahead and throw my head out here right now. Dan, Mr. Slot, I know you're a subscriber of mine. I know you watch my reviews. You've sent me personal messages, especially concerning my personal problems, and for that I do thank you. But when the day comes, if you should ever find yourself burnt out on Spider-Man and you have to step down, put in a good word for Christos Gage, please. I think he would do a good job. Should you ever decide to step down and let somebody else write it, I would put my money on Christos Gage. This was a good book. I recommend it. This is where I think I'm going to get some hate. Uncanny Avengers, number 4. I really think I'm going to... number 5, excuse me. Number 5. Rick Remender and Capelli are doing the stuff here with a John Cassidy cover. I do like the cover. Okay. Let me point out what I did like. I love the fact that they're bringing in Wonder Man, Wasp, Sunfire. I love the fact that they're bringing them onto the team. I loved the scene what Wolverine said to Sunfire to convince him to come over. Wolverine actually tracks down Sunfire. He finds him in Japan, in Tokyo. Sunfire's drunk. And he's like, hey, I want to put you on a team of Avengers that fights for Chuck's ideals. And he's like, I don't think I'm ready. He said, Bub, he's like, Bub, if you once you find out what Red Skull did to Chuck Xavier, oh, you will be ready. Wow. You know, Wolverine tells Sunfire what he had to do concerning Dakin and everything, and I guess he's convinced him to come over. Wonder Man and Wasp have been brought in as kind of like PR for PR, you know, public relations, publicity, and stuff like that. You can definitely tell there's a little bit of on Steve's ego, because Steve, Captain America, he's always so used to leading Avengers teams, and we got Havoc, and he's still standing in the de facto leader's position, but it's actually Havoc that's the leader. So why is Havoc all the way over here, and Star Spangled Boy here gets to stand in charge, but he's not actually the leader? That kind of bothers me. But what bothered me more than anything at all in this book, now, I'm going to read to you the lines that really irritated me. It's when Havoc is about to make his speech, and Cap's like, we're all on your side, do what you got to do. And he pulls up his mask off and he says, my name is Alex Summers. I was a student of Professor Charles Xavier. You know, blah, 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 blah. I never quite saw things as my brother did, and later our views diverged even further. I don't see mutant as born into a mutant cult or religion. Having an X gene doesn't bond me to anyone. It doesn't define me. Okay, fair enough. But here's where we get to this. In fact, I see the very word mutant as divisive. Divisive. Excuse me. Old thinking that serves to further separate us from our fellow man. We are all humans of one tribe. We are defined by our choices, that not the makeup of our genes. So please don't call us mutants. The M word represents everything I hate. Just call me Alex. Bullshit. And here's why I think that. First of all, Alex saying mutant represents everything I hate. Basically, he's saying I hate being called a mutant. That would be like the equivalent of me hating... that's like if I were to hate being called a human. Hey, you're a human. Don't say that. I'm not a human. I'm a mannequin, or I am a meat popsicle. You know, don't call me a human. I hate that word, human. Okay, I would accept this. It's basically going around. Alex is basically saying, okay, all you bigots and haters out there who hate mutants, you win. We want to be called humans just like you. You know, we are giving in to, at least I am. I'm giving in to all your hate. I don't want to be called a mutant anymore. I want to be called a human just like the people who hate me and who scream muty, freak, and everything at me. Now, that's how I felt. And that's just my opinion. But I would accept this speech from Alex. I would if he were to say words like muty, words like freak, words like monster, words like that offend me. Mutant, I am a mutant. I am not a muty. I am not a freak. I am not a monster. You know, I am a mutant, but I'm also a human. Do not call me a muty. Do not call me a freak. Call me Alex. If the speech were to go like that, I would accept it, no questions asked. But the fact that he says, don't call me a mutant, that's like me saying, don't call me a human. That's bullshit. That is lazy writing. The speech could have been written a hell of a lot better than this. Rick Remender, I am ashamed of you. That speech was terrible. You clearly should have done it more specified than that. And then the story with the Grim Reaper coming in and the what the fuck cliffhanger, that stuff was alright. But that speech from Alex just pissed me off. I'm like, really? It just seems so weird that Alex didn't respond to the slanderous names like muty, freak, monster. None of that. He didn't respond to any of that. He just said, don't call me a mutant. That just seems that just seemed like such lazy writing to me. And I know I'm ranting too much about this, and I do apologize. But if you love this book, then that's great. I got no qualms with that. I got nothing against that. If you love this book, then that's fine. That's great. I got nothing. It's a difference of opinion. It's a difference of opinion. That's pure and simple. And yeah. Now that I think about it, wow. Just wow. Moving on. Wolverine The X-Men number 27, excuse me. Jason Aaron's to continue the writing. And Ramon Perez continues the artwork. The artwork is not that good. The more I see it, the more I don't like it. The writing, though, is good for the most part. The Wolverine students continue to put up the good fight. Dog is Wolverine's brother, Dog, is wanting to lead this particular team of students. He believes that real heroes use guns and good old-fashioned fisticuffs to win a fight. They don't need any superpowers. This is a superhero universe, and who wouldn't want to have superpowers? If I had superpowers, I'd damn sure use them. That's just me. But it's just more of the same stuff that we got in the last issue. Some really good action and a bit of a whoa, whoa, whoa kind of cliffhanger. You know, it's like Quentin Quire, Kid Omega shoots his mouth off a little too much, and Dog snaps, and that's pretty much how the book ends. This is really, really well done. Nice stuff in here. I really can't diss the book too much. It was a good read, just wasn't perfect. It wasn't awesome, but it was good, and I did enjoy it. We're gonna end on an independent here. Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, number 79. This is the continuation of the Dark Spiral. This is part 5. I'm not gonna show any pictures or pages of this. Yeah, I can't. We got Raven Hex coming back to the human world with Thornwick. They're trying to find out what happened to Tarot. Tarot is missing. She's being bewitched. She's being controlled in the fairy realm, and it's not looking good for her. So Tarot's mother, Raven, the Skeleton Man, and Thornwick are going back to the realm looking for Tarot. They find Tarot's clothes in an old shop, and everybody's just like, everybody in this town, in this realm, are like, outsiders. Go away. Get the hell out of here. Haven't seen your sister. Go. Get out. You know, and dialogue is short and sweet, and this issue, it ends on a cliffhanger. You know, it's like, it's not really a cliffhanger, it's just the end of this issue, and the story continues of them looking for Tarot, but it ends on a laugh. It ends on a laugh. Raven and John, the Skeleton Man, Tarot's boyfriend, they're both caught in a rainstorm, and they find shelter, and Raven's like, we got to get these clothes off if we don't want to get sick, and he's just like, no, I'm fine. And she's like, really? After all these years, you're still shy around me? So she uses a spell and removes his clothes, and they go blowing out in the wind. He's like, oh, God. It's hilarious. Cute stuff. This is for fun. This is a fun series. It's incredibly cheesy. The artwork is obviously good. Giggity. But I don't take this series very seriously, because I read it for fun. It's a fun read. It's obviously for us dudes, and this is just awesome stuff. I loved it, but I don't think this is a series that's meant to be taken seriously as a dramatic comic book series, because Jim Ballant knew what he was doing when he created this character, when he created this series. It's cheap fun at its finest. Good stuff from Broadsword Comics. Well, that's all I got for this week, everybody. I want to thank you all for joining me. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel, Blugoblin01, Blugoblin X on YouTube. Check me out on Twitter or on Tumblr. Don't forget about Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. Shout out to all my friends, TheMtVernonKid, Fat Stack of Comics, Deadpoolzilla, Brandon Hex, my girlfriend Jennifer, Lenore 2003. Everybody, if I forgot about you, I'm sorry. But thanks again for watching, everybody. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.